right-footed copy. Oh! Bang! That one goes down. Champions! He takes that chance. Aguero!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Sports Fans Network. I am the CHALL, and of course, we're here with another edition of the Final Whistle, this time from the UEFA Europa League. Fenerbahçe hosting Manchester United. Now, before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video here on SFN. Make sure you stay tuned for all the match coverage we've got coming up for you, including some on-location coverage as Bradford City take on Doncaster Rovers this weekend, as well as some more coverage, including the FA Cup, with 4 games in 4 days in the first round. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this video and let's talk about, first of all, the starting lineups. The hosts Fenerbahçe lined up with some pretty neat talent on the pitch, with former United players Fred and Sofran Amrabat in and amongst the midfield. Experienced ex-Southampton winger Dusan Tadic was amongst the forward 3, led by Yusuf En-Nesyri. Alan Saint-Maximin, formerly of Newcastle, on the opposite side to Dusan Tadic. The bench contained some very notable names, including former City player and United rival star Edin Djiku. For Erik ten Hag, a lack of midfielders is probably the only way to describe this, with Casemiro in and amongst the bench, with Christian Eriksen and Manuel Ugarte as part of the midfield, Noussair Mazraoui operating in a 10-star role, with Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho on the wings, supporting Joshua Zirkzee. A back four included Lisandro Martinez operating on the left and Victor Lindelof through the centre with Matthijs de Ligt. Andre Onana leading the line at the back in goal. 1-1. Is it just me or is that really boring at times? I mean, there was some individual moments. There was some good individual moments. I think the double save in the first half from Onana was just spot on. Just really good reactions from Onana. And, Fenerbahçe had a few opportunities to score. You know, there was the one very early on from José Samuel, where he just shot it straight into the side netting. Andre Onana with a double save to prevent a couple of chances there. Ugarte with a last-ditch tackle at the right moment to stop it from being shot into the back of the net. Obviously, United got their goal. Decent goal for me overall. Dealt with it very well. And then Fenerbahçe with the equaliser straight into the second half. Good ball in, defending with schoolboy, and Fenerbahçe headed it in for the equaliser. But really, apart from the 2 goals and, Onana's double save and Ugarte's last-ditch tackle, what actually happened in that game apart from the big explosion in terms of the bench's reaction to a penalty that they thought was a penalty, which wasn't a penalty, by the way. Fair play to the referee, got the call spot on. Mourinho got sent off for it. Apart from that in the second half and the equaliser, I just don't think there was much to shout about overall for me in that game. I'm not even going to be picking a man of the match today. I really, really didn't. I didn't feel like that was a good game. Obviously, I'll probably end up picking a man of the match anyway, but you get what I mean. Like, it wasn't the most entertaining game at all. It was very defensive from both teams, and they had their moments. Don't get me wrong, that came forward. I thought Garnacho was very, very selfish today. Garnacho was very selfish. There was one point in the first half where he had the option to pick out Zirkzee. And he tried to do it himself, thinking, "Oh, look at me! I'm Alejandro Garnacho. I can take it himself. I'm the one-man show." Then you got a few men around you, and you have to pass backwards. Real lack of attacking pressure. Barely noticed Marcus Rashford today. Barely noticed Joshua Zirkzee, but part of that was due to service. I thought the defence for both teams made some mistakes. I felt like Højlund could have taken advantage a bit more of the back passing in the back line from Fenerbahçe. I think a draw was the right result tonight. 2 sides with little to no attacking quality. United depleted with injuries, but that's no excuse. I'm never going to use injuries as an excuse. United still had the quality to at least to try and get a win against Fenerbahçe today. Even Fenerbahçe said before the game that they were not favourites going into this game. They said they expected United to beat them. When your opposition says that and you're still getting a draw, what does that tell you about Erik ten Hag and Manchester United? I'll tell you what it tells me. Not very confident. And look, it's fair to say the pressure's on Erik ten Hag. And it's not me being disservice to Ten Hag, because at the end of the day, he's won more than the last two managers at United. He's won consecutive trophies in consecutive seasons. He's won more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's won more than Ralph Rangnick in his caretaker spell. Obviously, the last manager to have won the manager to win as much as possible post Alex Ferguson was, funnily enough, José Mourinho. So, at the end of the day, Ten Hag's won trophies. The game plan and the style of play, despite the injuries, is what's putting United fans in a divided section. And I think that's probably fair for me to say from the outside looking in. Mazraoui in the 10 role, for example, that was either going to go really, really well or really, really bad. And people were either going to praise Ten Hag for being a football genius, or they were going to absolutely slate him, saying, what the hell are you doing putting Mazraoui in a 10 role? And then, of course, he moved back out into the defence when Casemiro came on in the second half. I think a point's fair for both teams in the league phase, but am I confident that both teams are going to be in contention to win the Europa League? Nope. I'm happy for them to prove me wrong, but right now, neither team's winning it at all. So my Sports Fans Network's man of the match, overall for me, I'm going to give it to a defender for Fenerbahce. I'm actually going to give it to Alexander Djiku. Sorry for pronouncing it wrong. 94% pass accuracy statistically. He had 94 touches on the ball. Wasn't successful in his dribbles. Wasn't successful in his cross accuracy, in the one cross that he had and the one dribble that he had. He got his long ball accurate, 100%. He won 2 out of his 7 tackles. He made 5 interceptions, 3 clearances, a block, 3 recoveries. He was dribble passed only twice. 19 total defensive actions. He won 11 duels, lost 6. 60% ground duels won both of his aerial duels. For me, he dealt with it pretty well. I could have very well given it to Al Nesri for his goal. I could have given it to St. Maximan. I could have given it to Dusan Tadic. He had a bit of technicality about him. I could have given Ericsson some credit today. I could have given Ugarte a bit for that last ditch, which I have done. Could have given Xerxes credit for the assist. But for me, in terms of overall performance, I think Djiku did his job the better overall. It wasn't just individual moments like a goal or an assist or a tackle or a bit of play or anything like that. For me, it was the overall performance. And for me, Djiku kept it solid at the back, along with Soyuncu. But I felt like Djiku was probably the best of the defence for Fenerbahce today. I weren't going to give a man of the match for Manchester United. Ugarte, yeah, he did well. Ericsson did all right. Xerxes got an assist. But in terms of overall performance, none of that Man United team actually stood out as a wow, 9 out of 10. What a performance. Shone like the brightest star. For me, that was Djiku for Fenerbahce. I think that overall defensively, he was solid. He was structured. He was composed. He was aggressive when he needed to be. They were getting quite aggressive. There was one tackle, I think, in the second half. Can't remember who it was where he tackled, but he was very aggressive, took no BS, and just got straight into it. That's what I like from a defender. Proper no-nonsense. Bit of structure about him, bit of awareness, bit of leadership about him as well. And for me, he was probably the best performer on the day. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of your European coverage this week. Stay tuned because we're going to have the championship action coming up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that one. But make sure you stay tuned for more content as well. Bradford versus Doncaster Rovers on Saturday at Valley Parade. We will be there, guys. And make sure you stay tuned for more action. Of course, the FA Cup next week. So we're going to have 4 days and at least 4 games in 4 days. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now. And that is full time here on SFN. United, do better. Fenerbahçe, do better.
Right foot to copy.